burn belly fat super fast. It's possible? New study. Tired of trying everything to get rid of your fanny pack and only seeing frustrating results? Get ready to discover the secret the diet industry doesn't want you to know. Today I'm going to reveal to you the complete step-by-step guide to getting rid of abdominal fat and achieving the belly of your dreams. Did you know that belly fat is the most dangerous of all? It not only bothers you aesthetically, but it is also a real-time bomb for your health. I'm going to divide this video into two parts. The first, I'm going to talk about the dangers of visceral fat, that which is deep in the belly and surrounds organs such as the liver and intestines. In the second part, with practical tips for you to lose that fat once and for all. And at the end, as a bonus, I'm going to talk about a 2023 study that showed that targeting specifically localized belly fat is not only possible, but also much easier than we all imagined. Want to know how? So don't leave there. But first, start enjoying the video. So, are you up for the challenge? Let's break the record for likes and show YouTube that this video is important for everyone's health? And tell me, have you ever tried to lose belly fat? What methods did you use? Did you have results? What part of Brazil or the world are you from? Write below. Let's go. Did you know that visceral fat is a hidden enemy? Abdominal fat can be divided into two types. Subcutaneous, which is just below the skin and is what you can feel with your fingers. The folds equals, and visceral, which is deeper, between the organs. Although visceral fat makes up only about 10% of body fat, it is the most dangerous. Unlike the subcutaneous, which is soft, the visceral is harder and causes a series of health problems. Well, what are the dangers of visceral fat? Visceral fat is not just a passive store of energy. It is biologically active, acting as an endocrine organ that releases hormones and inflammatory substances that can affect the entire body. It is metabolically active, which means it produces substances that interfere with hormones that regulate appetite, mood, brain function, and cortisol, the stress hormone. Okay, but what can it cause? 1. Cardiovascular diseases. Visceral fat is associated with a significant increase in heart disease. Studies indicate that women with a larger waist circumference have more than double the risk of developing heart problems compared to those with a smaller circumference. Additionally, visceral fat is associated with higher levels of LDL, bad cholesterol, and triglycerides, and lower levels of HDL, good cholesterol, all factors that contribute to heart disease. 2. Type 2 diabetes. Visceral fat contributes to insulin resistance, meaning the body cells do not respond adequately to the insulin that your pancreas produces. This leads to increased blood sugar levels and can result in the development of type 2 diabetes. The presence of high blood glucose levels can cause a number of complications, including damage to the nerves, eyes, kidneys, and blood vessels. 3. Dementia. Research indicates that people with high levels of abdominal fat in middle age are almost 3 times more likely to develop dementia in old age. So be careful. Visceral fat is associated with chronic inflammatory processes that can affect your brain. 4. Asthma. Women with greater abdominal circumference have a 37% higher risk of developing asthma. Visceral fat can cause chronic inflammation, which can increase airway reactivity, causing asthma symptoms such as wheezing, shortness of breath, and coughing. Furthermore, being overweight can increase pressure on the diaphragm and lungs, making breathing difficult. 5. Breast cancer. Abdominal fat is linked to an increased risk of breast cancer, especially in postmenopausal women. After menopause, estrogen levels in the body decrease, but visceral fat can produce excess estrogen. This additional estrogen can stimulate the growth of breast cells and increase the risk of developing tumors. 6. Bowel cancer. People with more visceral fat are 3 times more likely to develop precancerous polyps in the colon. That's why you have to remove polyps every year. The presence of visceral fat can accelerate this process, increasing the risk of malignancy. But it doesn't stop there. There are other associated risks. High blood pressure. Visceral fat contributes to hypertension by releasing substances that narrow blood vessels and increase vascular resistance. Fat in the liver, which can develop into cirrhosis and liver cancer. High blood fat levels, such as LDL, triglycerides, and low HDL, sleep apnea. Excess abdominal fat can put pressure on the airways and cause sleep apnea. Other types of cancer, including pancreatic, esophageal, and liver cancer. Stroke, chronic inflammation, and atherosclerosis associated with visceral fat also increase in early death from any cause. This is due to the various health problems it causes. How to measure visceral fat. First of all, you have to know where you are today and what your goals are. You can monitor visceral fat by measuring your waist circumference. Use a tape measure. 1. Stand and relax. With your feet apart, position the measuring tape around your belly, at the level of your belly button, just above the hip bone that you can pull on side 2. Pull the tape until it is snug, but not so tight that it compresses the skin. The tape should be even all the way around the waist. 3. Breathe normally. Don't suck in your belly. Exhale normally and then measure your waist circumference. How will we interpret the results? Women. Waist measurements of 88 centimeters or more indicate an increased risk of health problems. Men. Waist measurements of a maximum of 102 centimeters. If you have more than that, your risk increases. How important is waist measurement? Waist circumference is a simple and effective indicator of visceral fat and associated health risks, and is more accurate than BMI than body mass index, which you do those calculations to see if you are overweight or obese. And it's important for you to measure. Why? You can pause the video now, and then write your result below. No need to reduce it, see. In a month you will come back to the video and say how much you lost. For more detailed assessments, methods such as computed tomography, CT, magnetic resonance imaging, MRI, and DEXA can be used, although they are more expensive and complex. How will you say goodbye to belly fat? I'm going to talk about 20 scientific tips with real results. Do you want to achieve a flat stomach and a healthier life? Science has the answers. 1. Soluble fiber. Your secret ally in the fight against fat. Soluble fiber not only increases satiety, but also reduces calorie absorption. A study of more than 1,100 adults showed that increasing soluble fiber consumption by 10 grams per day can decrease abdominal fat gain by almost 5% over 5 years. What has soluble fiber? Fruits, vegetables, oats, chia, and legumes. Put all of this into your diet to reap these benefits. 2. Trans fats. Enemies of your waistline and your health. Trans fats are true health villains, increasing the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and inflammation. And one study showed that a diet high in trans fats led to a 33% increase in abdominal fat compared to a diet high in monounsaturated fats. Avoid processed and processed foods to keep your waist slim and your health up to date. 3. Moderation in alcohol. Excessive alcohol consumption is directly linked to increased abdominal fat. Do you like a beer? Studies show that people who drink excessively have a significantly higher risk of hoarding fat in the waist area. You don't even need to study, right? You can see. So, limit your consumption to 1 drink per day for women and 2 for men, or avoid it completely for faster results. 4. Protein at every meal. Speed up your metabolism and burn fat. Protein not only increases satiety, but also increases metabolic rate by up to 30%, meaning you burn more calories even at rest. Studies show that diets high in protein, 25 to 30% of daily calories, can increase burning by up to 100% per day. Include lean meat, fish, eggs, dairy products, and legumes in every meal to help you lose belly fat. 5. Less stress, so relax. Chronic stress elevates cortisol levels, the hormone that contributes to the accumulation of abdominal fat. Studies show that relaxation techniques, such as yoga and meditation, can reduce cortisol levels by up to 20%. 6. Sugar. The villain of the waistline and health. Excessive consumption of sugar, whether refined or natural, is associated with increased abdominal fat, insulin resistance, and risk of type 2 diabetes. A study showed that reducing sugar consumption by 10% it can lead to a 0.8 centimeters reduction in waist circumference. Reduce your consumption of sweets, soft drinks, and processed foods for a flat stomach and a healthier life. 7. Move. Physical exercise, especially aerobics, is the key to burning abdominal fat and building muscle. Studies show that 300 minutes of moderate aerobic exercise per week, combined with strength training twice a week, can reduce visceral fat by up to 14%. 8. Bread. Refined carbohydrates. Moderation to flatten your belly. Replacing refined carbohydrates with whole grains can reduce visceral fat by up to 10%. 9. Woman lifting weights. Lifting weights. More muscle, less fat, and more health resistance training increases muscle mass, which speeds up metabolism and contributes to burning fat, even at rest. One study showed that 10 weeks of strength training led to a 1.4 kilograms increase in muscle mass and a 1.8 kilograms reduction in fat. 10. Cup with straw. Soft drinks. No way. Soft drinks and sugary drinks are real sugar bombs, contributing to weight gain and the accumulation of abdominal fat. One study showed that reducing your consumption of sugary drinks by 50% can lead to weight loss of up to 2.5 kilograms in 6 months. Swap for water, teas, water with lemon, without sugar, to hydrate your body and dry your belly. 11. Sleeping face. Sleep well to lose weight. Sleeping little increases levels of ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and decreases levels of leptin, the satiety hormone. A study showed that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night are 23% more likely to be obese. 12. Fish. Fatty fish. The omega-3 present in fish such as salmon, sardines, and tuna has anti-inflammatory properties and can help reduce abdominal fat, especially in people with fatty liver. Studies show that regular fish consumption can reduce waist circumference by up to 2 centimeters. Include fish in your diet at least twice a week to reap these benefits. I talked about soft drinks. And the juice? 13. Beverage box. Fruit juice. Despite containing vitamins and minerals, fruit juice also has a lot of sugar, which can contribute to weight gain and accumulation of abdominal fat. One study showed that drinking a glass of fruit juice a day can increase your risk of obesity by up to 24%. Choose whole fruits and limit your consumption of fruit juice to avoid excess sugar. 14. Microbe probiotics. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria that live in our intestines and play an important role in digestion, immunity, and even weight regulation. Studies show that consuming probiotics can reduce abdominal fat by up to 4.6% and body weight by up to 1 kilogram. Include natural yogurts, kefir, and other fermented foods in your diet for a healthy gut and flat stomach. 15. Alarm clock. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a method that alternates periods of eating and fasting and has been shown to be effective in weight loss, reducing abdominal fat, and improving insulin sensitivity. One study showed that intermittent fasting can lead to 3 to 8% weight loss in 3 to 24 weeks. Consult a doctor before starting intermittent fasting to ensure it is right for you. 16. Teacup without handle. Green tea. Accelerate your metabolism and burn fat with flavor. Green tea contains catechins, antioxidants that accelerate metabolism and increase fat burning. One study showed that drinking green tea can increase energy expenditure by up to 4% and fat burning by up to 17%. 17. Red apple. Healthy lifestyle. The key to long-term success is changing eating habits, and adopting a healthy lifestyle is key to losing weight and keeping it off. 18. Fork and knife with plate. Eat mindfully. Savor every bite and control portions. Eating mindfully, chewing slowly, and enjoying each food can help control portions and avoid overeating. A study showed that people who practice conscious eating are 30% less likely to be obese. And look at your dishes. There's a trend that a big plate is chic. At home, I recently changed the dishes when I saw the video about rice, which was getting fat. Don't fall into the same trap. With a small plate you eat less. 19. Green salad. Mediterranean diet. Flavor, health, and flat belly. The Mediterranean diet, rich in fruits, vegetables, olive oil, and fish, is proven effective in reducing abdominal fat, improving cardiovascular health, and preventing chronic diseases. One study showed that the Mediterranean diet can reduce waist circumference by up to 9.7 centimeters in 12 months. 20. No smoking. If you smoke, stop smoking. Smoking not only harms your health but also increases abdominal fat. Studies show that smokers have higher cortisol levels and a greater tendency to accumulate visceral fat. And now, as promised, let's talk about a recent study from 2023 that brought an exciting discovery for those who want to lose abdominal fat. This small study showed that it is possible to focus on reducing localized fat through specific aerobic exercises for the abdomen. To burn fat, the body first needs to release it from fat cells, a process known as mobilization. Only after the fat has been mobilized can it be used as energy. But how is fat mobilized? When you train with weights, not only do you strengthen your muscles, you also increase blood flow to the fat surrounding the muscle being worked. This helps with mobilization. However, belly fat tends to receive little blood flow, and we typically train our abdominal muscles less compared to other muscles. Think about your thigh muscles. You use them all the time, whether running, squatting, walking. They are some of the largest muscles in the body and receive plenty of blood flow during exercise. But the belly, not so much. This got researchers thinking. If you can increase blood flow to your abs, could you then specifically target belly fat during exercise? Theoretically, by increasing blood flow to the right places, you could reduce fat in any area you choose. In the study, 16 overweight men were divided into two groups. The control group did 45 minutes on the treadmill each session, while the spot reduction group did a shorter 27-minute treadmill workout, followed by 2 abdominal exercises, abdominal rotations, torso and abdominals on the machine. After 10 weeks of training, the group that did the abdominal exercises lost significantly more belly fat than the group that just ran. An average of 697 g decreased in the group that did abdominal exercises, compared to the control group that showed no significant change. This suggests that localized fat reduction, or spot reduction, can actually happen, contrary to the common belief that fat loss occurs uniformly throughout the body. And look, this study was unique because it was also the first to ensure that the same amount of calories were burned in both groups. And look how it hits, really. The treadmill-only group lost more fat on their legs than the sit-up group. It seems that the theory is true. That is, the result makes sense, since they did more exercise focused on the legs. To take advantage of these findings, you can include specific abdominal exercises in your training routine, in addition to aerobic activities like running or cycling. For example, you can run on the treadmill for 30 minutes and then do a set of sit-ups. And you have to have consistency. Maintain a regular training routine, performing exercises at least 4 times a week. Losing belly fat is not just a question of aesthetics, but of health. Consult a nutritionist or healthcare professional for personalized guidance and start your journey towards a flat stomach and a healthier life today. And remember, there is no magic solution. It takes patience and persistence. Did you like the video? Share these tips with anyone you think might benefit. And what will be the next video you watch? I'll leave 2 recommendations here. My video about air fryer, what are the risks and benefits? And my video about 10 best vegetables that protect you against cancer.